y'all, TRG here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the severe weather that is expected next week as we go into Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday and Sunday. Let's go right into today's video. Starting out with our 500 millibar wind speed height, as we normally try to do. Let's go ahead and see our severe weather maker that's expected this upcoming week. We've got Thursday here at 21Z on April 25th. We've got a negatively tilted trough ejection out here pointing to the southeast, which if you didn't know, that is a negative trough here. So what that means is it's going to have a better opportunity of pulling up ingredients that causes severe weather right out in that exit region of the trough ejection, which is centered over portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, as well as Texas, where we have a 50% chance for severe weather in effect from the SPC on their day 6 outlook. For this was the day 6 outlook. And then for April 26th, it goes into their day 7 outlook out here for portions of Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, up towards Illinois and Iowa. So that is a much larger area for severe weather, but you'll notice the trough kind of gets a little bit finicky. It's not as well organized. It's kind of more of a really negative trough with a bit of a embedded shortwave here from what I can tell. A little bit on the sloppier side there for April 26th, but still going to be a severe weather maker. Then as we go into April 27th, you can see it's kind of a recovery day where we have a high pressure that builds in out here towards the Gulf of Mexico, and we kind of have just this recovery phase ongoing towards the atmosphere here in the Central Plains, which builds up for our next severe weather threat that is anticipated here for Sunday, April 28th. Here we've got a kind of elongated and neutral to possibly negatively tilted elongated trough ejection here, which elongated just means, it's just long. It's long here. So that whole area is full of wind speed here, and right on the kind of the eastern side of that would have the best shot at severe weather off of this particular frame here. And that does move into the April 29th time frame as well, but it moves off towards the Midwest. So we'll see what happens with that. I'd say Monday is by far the most uncertainty here, but also Sunday as well. I mean, Sunday looks like quite a day of uncertainty as well, and we'll go ahead and dive onto that right now. Before we dive on into the rest of today's video, please go ahead and share this video with your family, friends, and on social media to help spread weather awareness. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button with the post notification bell set to all so you know when I go live or upload a video. Let's go ahead and continue with today's video. So we'll actually start with our first day that we expect severe weather, which is going to be Thursday, April 25th. And notice the trough ejection. Look how much it changes around. So of course, earlier on the 17th, there was nothing there. You know, it had this almost omega block pattern to it. And now it's started to pick up on that significant severe threat being a possibility. Severe weather is expected, but significant severe weather, I wouldn't go as far as calling for that, because it just doesn't seem like this is a classic strong trough ejection. You know, you see how this isn't like red or pink bars at all. It's more of that yellow color. So I'm not expecting a widespread significant severe threat, but a widespread severe weather threat would not be blown away at all. Let's go ahead and go on into April 26th now. So here's April 26th. Let's see how much consistency we have here, and it's actually a little bit better. You can see the strength varies, but the general placement of that trough ejection being a awkwardly very neutral trough ejection here, so most likely that would end up with severe weather on at minimum the northern side close to that trough ejection, but still a bit of uncertainty in regards to the strength of that system, which is why I said severe weather is really expected at this point, but the magnitude of that severe threat is still to be determined, and most likely won't be determined until either the day before or day of the severe weather threat. Now here's what I think is our most uncertain day, which is going to be Sunday, April 28th, and you'll see why right here. If I just zoom this in a little bit more for you guys, watch that red trough ejection right over Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa. Watch how much this shifts in one model run. Look at that. That is no consistency. So whilst I do think severe weather is going to be a possibility somewhere out here in the Central Plains and maybe even the Western Plains, I think there's a bit too much inconsistencies to call for anything significant. But again, I'm expecting severe weather with that system as well. But again, I just don't see any big signs of a significant severe threat just yet. But again, this is 210 hours out, and we are still seeing signs of a severe threat that is at this point anticipated anticipated. And the SPC said that they are expecting to highlight a severe threat, but the predictability is just too high right now. They could barely even predict one single model run here. I mean, look at this. The model runs are just all over the place. So we're expecting a highlighted area at some point in the future, but as of now, predictability is just all over the place. All right, so this was a little bit better than April 29th, but still here on April 29th, we have a lot of inconsistencies. So the 28th is what I meant to say there, has the most inconsistencies, but the 29th, I mean, it's still all over the place, but you can see at least we have a general idea that we're probably going to see a trough up here in the upper Midwest, but still, it's all over the place, especially on the older model runs. I mean, Gracious Day, that was all over the place, but now it's kind of getting a bit more consistent, but it is still all over the place. But again, I'm expecting severe weather potential with all four of these days. Again, that's going to be the 25th, 26th, the 27th should be a bit of a recovery day, and then the 28th and the 29th should have severe weather as well. So looks like a very active stretch of severe weather is coming in hot here for our severe weather season. So here's your outlined area by the Storm Prediction Center for their Day 6 outlook, which is going to be for Thursday, April 25th, of course, this year. And yeah, you can already see we have quite a large 15% chance for severe weather already out here. And remember, this is a 15% chance every 25 miles of a given point. So, I mean, you know, you got a 15% chance there, 15% chance there. You get the gist. We are nearly guaranteed to see at least somewhat of a severe threat here for Day 6, which is, again, going to be for April 24th. And then as we go on in here to, actually, that's going to be for April 25th, which is Thursday, my bad. As we go on into here to Day 7, it's going to be for Friday, April 26th, 2024. So this is, again, a Friday threat here. And we've got a large 15% chance for severe weather. All the way from, get this, Norman, Oklahoma, or barely outside of Norman, Oklahoma. It includes more in Oklahoma City. All the way up here to Waterloo, Iowa, near Sioux City as well. So a large 15% chance for severe weather by the SPC for that particular day, again, which is Friday, April 26th. And then the 27th, like I said, predictability is just too low right now. I think that's going to be a bit of a recovery day, to be honest, which is where the atmosphere recovers from the previous trough ejection and it gets ready for that next trough to pull through on the 28th. And I think we'll see a highlighted area for severe weather on the 28th of April at some point in the near future. All right, let's go back to our 500 millibar wind speeds here. We're going to pull this out once again, telling y'all about that severe threat. So here comes your trough ejection on April 25th. Most likely severe weather is going to be expected here for Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Then that gets out of here into the Central Plains on Friday, April 26th. Again, severe weather is really expected for portions of the Central Plains as well for April 26th. April 27th, again, looks like a recovery day. We get a high pressure that builds out towards the Gulf of Mexico. The atmosphere recovers from that first trough ejection. We see that second trough pull through on Sunday, April 28th, and then we most likely end up with more severe weather being a possibility. All hazards for all of these days look to be a anticipated severe mode here. And if we go ahead and pull this into Monday, April 29th, again, a lot of uncertainty for those two particular days. But again, the atmosphere has fully recovered, most likely by this particular frame here. That high pressure is already now moving off to the south, which allows for that trough to ride the high pressure up on the northern side and most likely impact the northern Midwest and the northern northeastern plains here. And then that gets out of there by Tuesday, April 30th. And then as for the rest of April, which is like a whole 2 days at that point, it looks a little inactive, fingers crossed, inactivity maybe. And then some models take this with a grain of salt. Yeah, our old pal looks to possibly return in May. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not too sure of that. You know, models were showing that for the middle of April. How'd that turn out? We ended up with multiple risks for severe weather. So don't believe this at all. This Omega block, if it does occur, holy moly, we'll have like a week of inactive severe weather and we'll just be clear skies, maybe some isolated rain showers on the west and east side of that Omega block, but generally clear skies over most of our severe weather zone that we normally see for May. But again, take that with a grain of salt. It's probably not going to be, it's probably not going to happen, let's be honest. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy. I will see you guys most likely in Tuesday's live stream. Have a great rest of y'all's day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, watch severe weather. Goodbye.